In 2019, professional footballer and midfielder Teko Modise filed for bankruptcy with 529,000 in debt, despite earning 450,000 rand per month, which poses a great question about money itself, because a great deal of our actions or motivations in life have an underlying desire or need to acquire it. But what's the point in acquiring it? The great question seems to be with our ability to manage it.
Well, we're focusing on the cost of living, and this inflation rate has not been seen since the global financial crisis. That means more interest rate hikes are in the offing. And then we have South Africans addicted to debt. So what does this mean for them? Research released a few months ago suggesting that the average consumer in South Africa had 20% more debt now than around 6 years ago.
Money is a subject that everyone has to deal with, but despite its importance, many people struggle to manage it. The high levels of credit card debt in South Africa is just one example of this. The first step in improving our financial situation is to examine our relationship with money. Rather than seeing it as an end in itself, we should see it as a medium of exchange that represents the value of what we are buying. By understanding this, we can avoid giving money an unnecessary moral significance. Money simply opens up our options, and the choices we make with it are a reflection of our own values. One way to think about our relationship with money is in terms of production and consumption. Money comes into our lives when we produce something of value, usually through our labor. It lives our lives when we consume something. The balance between our production and our consumption is the key to financial well-being. While many focus on increasing their production, it is often our consumption that is the problem. Even people earning six-figure salaries can struggle with living paycheck to paycheck if their consumption habits are out of control. To improve our financial situation, we need to examine our relationship with consumption. This means looking at our spending habits and identify areas where we can cut back. By doing so, we can begin to create a positive cycle where we are able to save money and invest in our future. Ultimately, by changing our relationship with money, we can escape the rat race and finding financial freedom. It's important to realize that there are many ways to break free from the rat race, but it's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to be easy. It takes effort, discipline, and a willingness to change your mindset about money. One way to start is by focusing on increasing your production, which means by finding ways to create your income. This could involve getting a high-paying job, starting a side hustle, or investing in an asset that can generate passive income. But increasing your production alone won't solve the problem if you don't address your consumption habits. It's important to learn how to live below your means and make wise spending decisions. This means setting a budget, prioritizing your expenses, and avoiding unnecessary purchases. Ultimately, breaking free from the rat race requires a shift in the mindset. It means realizing that money is not the end goal, but rather a means to an end. It means recognizing that true wealth comes from the financial security, personal fulfillment, and a sense of purpose. So, next time you find yourself caught up in the rat race, take a step back and ask yourself, what am I really working towards? Is this lifestyle sustainable in the long run? And most importantly, am I truly happy? By re-evaluating your relationship with money and focusing on building a more sustainable financial future, you can break free from the rat race and live a more fulfilling life. But the real problem with the rat race is not the job itself, but the never-ending cycle of working to consume and consuming to work. It's a vicious cycle that keeps us trapped in a cycle of debt and consumerism, always chasing the next material thing that we think will make us happy, but never finding true fulfillment. So, what's the solution? It starts with changing our relationship with money. We need to shift our mindset from one of consumerism to one of value creation. Instead of just focusing on how much money we can make, we need to start thinking about how we can create value for others. When we focus on creating value, the money will naturally follow. We also need to learn how to manage our money better. This means creating a budget and sticking to it, saving for emergencies and investing for the future. We need to educate ourselves on personal finance and develop a plan for our financial future. But most importantly, we need to break free from the rat race mentality. We need to stop chasing the material possessions and start focusing on the things that truly matter in life, like our relationships, our health, our personal growth. We need to live below our means and be content with what we have instead of always striving for more. In conclusion, money is not inherently good or evil. It's simply a tool that can be used for good or bad. When we understand that money is an expression of value and learn how to manage it wisely, we can break free from the rat race and create a more fulfilling and meaningful life. So, ask yourself, what is your relationship with money and what steps can you take to improve it?